we're not gonna bother with a. Now coming to the stage, Mr. Forgetful. Who am I? You know, for erectile dysfunction, sometimes they'll give you a balloon to help you out. Now, I don't have ED, but I would love one of those balloons. I just want to be in the bed, I want to be able to pump it up like I'm wearing a pair of Michael Jordans from 1996. I'll just walk into the bedroom, my baby blows the whistle. Let's play ball! I'm just, all right, baby. Now put me in the game, coach. Or whatever it is. I would hate for her if she somehow got into clowns. Because I don't want to wake up with a folded balloon giraffe between my legs in the morning, just being like, oh, I guess I got to pee through a crazy straw. I knew that was what was going on when my baby went the night before. I would like to have that ED balloon for my funeral. Because sometimes they just don't have enough pizzazz when you're dead. I want people walking past my casket, balloon installed. As soon as they get close enough, it activates, just psst. The casket door opens up, and the 99 erectile dysfunction balloons start floating to the sky, lifting my corpse up to the heavens so everyone is forced to see my giant erect dick. Like the movie Up. Well, I don't know what y'all would do for your funeral, but that's what I would do. You go out with a sense of style. And if they could play the song by Nina, 99 Red Balloons, but it would be Ed Balloons, would be icing on my death cake. 99 Ed Balloons, there they all going kaboom, So they say you can't hit women twice. No, they say you can't hit women, but every mosquito that bites is female. Which means I will slap the shit out of a mosquito hoe. Just hitting different parts of my body. Fuck you, Jessica. Fuck you, Brittany. You'll never have my kids, Katie. You can relate. So I'm dating a black woman from Brazil. I knew I'd get one approval. Because I like my women the way I like my Arabica mix. Black, Brazilian, and a little better when I forget the sugar. Like fucking coffee. Brown. Delicious. So the other day clearly she's got a particular coffee bean between her legs. Just one. She's like, come on, brew it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Bring out that white filter.
Exactly.
Let's go make some morning brew.
Can we put up the Rio Brazilian
Let's go
coffee?
make some cold brew. Put some ice cubes on that shit. Okay.
The Rio Brazilian coffee.
Yes, this is the real Brazilian morning breakfast. Eggs, beans, and just one bean. Coffee. So, I was texting my baby, trying to make her laugh, sending her pictures of little puppies taking a shit, because that's what I find funny. But she just keeps responding back to me with KKK. And I'm like, I know Hitler had a dog, but I don't think he found dogs pooping nearly as funny as I do. But then I found out later, in Brazil, they don't say LOL or ha ha ha. They say ka ka ka. which they sometimes abbreviate as KKK. So I had to ask her, baby, do you know what the KKK stands for in America? And she said, no. Oh, good. So then I, as a white man, had to introduce my baby to the Ku Klux Klan. Or at least the abbreviation. She's seen the White Hoods. So the best explanation I could come up with, I went with, okay, baby, they really like dressing up like spooky ghosts. And she's just like Carnival. No. Not like Carnival. And I tried, crosses. They really like crosses. And she's like, I like church. No, not like church. Fine, I just give up. All right, baby, they're just a bunch of white people that hate black people. And she goes, like your grandmother. Yes, thank you. You understand? Like my grandmother. That racist bitch. So I figured out where black man confidence comes from. And it's not the massive dick like so many of you assume. Oh no. It's the rap. You see, rap is just a bunch of positive affirmations disguised as felony threats. Turns out, telling yourself, I get all the money, I get all the bitches, 3 birthday wishes, that's just great for your mental health. What I'm trying to say is rap lyrics are basically vision boards you can twerk to. I can't twerk to it, so I have to manifest. Unfortunately, you can't just manifest with any rap lyric. I found that out the hard way. I tried to manifest with some Kendrick Lamar. Now I can't get within 500 feet of a Chuck E. Cheese. I tried Ludacris. Now I owe child support and area codes 214, 512, and 713. And I even tried to manifest with Notorious B.I.G. Now I got diabetes. And then Diddy fucked me and had me killed to keep me quiet.
Oh my God.
You know, I would hate to be super old. Not just regular old. I mean light speed old. Like everything hurts, everything leaks. Fucking old. And then become a vampire. You know how much that would suck? You wouldn't just have a Tempur-Pedic coffin. You wouldn't just have a regular coffin. You'd have a Tempur-Pedic coffin. We're getting the words right. With a sleep number of over 4,000. You'd have Dr. Scholl's inserts everywhere in your castle. And dentures. You're a vampire that can't even bite people. You know how sad that would be? They're just playing keep away with your teeth. Ha ha, Dracula. Got your teeth, ha ha ha. And they kick it down the fucking stairs, and you're like, I can't even see down the stairs. Where are my teeth? Damn you, Britney. But I think the worst part of it all would be being forgetful, you know? Especially when you go to turn into a tiny little bat, and you forget about your massive vampire balls dragging you down, looking like a game of Flappy Bird. One ball's bigger than the other, so you just go in a fucking circle. Bouncing your nutsack on the top of church steeples, just ow, 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 ow. Everything is a teabag no matter where you're landing. You'd have to braid your balls into a fucking 360 little knots just going, that's right, little baby bitches. It's not a pocket watch, it's my nuts. But, let's say you're flying around and you get snagged on a gargoyle's mouth, getting yanked back like a dog on a leash, just, squeak, 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 or whatever. And you're just hanging up upside down being like, somebody untangle me, That's when he shows up. Van Balsing the Vampire Tank Hunter. He just walks up, cuts off your balls. As you're bleeding out on the ground, he just holds them in front of you. Hey, Dracula, you forgot to tack this. It'd be miserable to be that old. So parenting gets about 100 times harder the moment your kids discover masturbation. And worse, when you find out they do. For my parents, it got a million times harder because I found their toys. That's right, we're in the adult portion of our show. Strap in, strap on, and get fucking ready. So I was just at home one day, little teenager, walking around. Man, life sucks being broke. I sure hope I can find some money in my parents' bedroom. So I break into the door, get to the fucking closet, because that's where all the good shit is, and look at the top shelf. There's a brown paper bag full of what I thought was a giant pile of cash. So I go to grab it, pull it, and raining down upon my head are 8 14-inch, 3-inch diameter, 1980 dildos, bouncing off the top of my head like I'm a Lindsay Lohan trying to get the big part in the Machete movie. Just bop, 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 bop. You're hired. But then I see one, I'm like, oh hey, well that looks big enough just for me. And I took that dildo and used it wrong. Because you can use a dildo wrong. If it's old enough. Yeah, I know that makes it sound like it's kind of corrugated, like I'm fucking SpongeBob SquarePants. But no, it just had a hot dog shaped hole. Perfect for your average 14-year-old man. So I took that damn thing into the bathroom, pissed in God's face for roughly 30 seconds, and then put it back like nothing was wrong. And then Dad comes home. Thank God Dad came home first. I would not want to have that conversation with Mom. To this day, she still doesn't know. So as soon as he comes home and that smell hits his face, there's not a lot of things that smell like that. And I do kind of picture him being one of those little sommeliers holding the dildo just, this doesn't smell like me. There's a lot less pineapple than usual. I better go talk to my son. Walks over to my room. Son, when you make a mess, which is about the most G-rated Disney thing you can possibly say to a child, clean up after yourself. And I'm like, what are those for, Father? He's like, your mom's not into that anymore. And he just walks away. And you would think that would be embarrassing enough to stop me from going back. It did not. I was back the very next fucking day. Door's still boom. I know exactly where I'm going. Straight to the fucking closet, top shelf, and it's empty. They took my treasure and replaced it with a picture of a very disappointed Jesus. You know what you did.
Toma, viciado, descarado, sem vergonha.
Yes. Crowd participation. Toma, viciado. Yeah. We've got a bilingual crowd.
Viciado.
So I like zombies, zombie effect makeup. I like doing it myself. So much so that I've gotten jobs for it. I've gotten my picture into the Dallas Morning newspaper. I was pretty good and proud of what I could do. Which is why when I was at a convention, anime convention, and I saw somebody that what I thought was the best Freddy Krueger on the planet costume. Turns out he was actually a burn victim, and I had no idea. So I'm walking up to the guy going, hey man, that looks amazing. His entire arm covered in burns. The side of his face covered in burns. And I'm like, oh, he's not a victim of tragedy. He just loves horror. That's his costume. He's only halfway finished. Maybe he'll finish the other half when another fire comes around. So I just walk up to the guy. Hey, man, that looks amazing. And he looks confused. What? You're Freddy Krueger. I've never seen anyone do it. You're the best that I've ever seen. It's a great costume. I'm not wearing a costume. Oh. It's healed up pretty nicely. Why don't you? If you were a Freddy Krueger right now, that would make a lot more sense. You know what? I'm sorry, dude. I'm just going to walk away forever now. But hey, you're going to be in my nightmares tonight.
You forgot.
Forgot what?
That he said that he's
Speak.
he's born in a house
Well, I mentioned that earlier.
fire.
I said he was in a house fire, but I didn't know that yet.
Okay.
You forgot to do the thing you did. Now do it exactly as I saw it 3 times before. Stop ad-libbing and making it a better joke. It must be the same every day. We have a haunted house.
Okay.
Sometimes tattoos can be fun, sometimes they can be horrific. Like for when I got my particular tattoo, I learned that your tattoo artist can tell which hand you masturbate more with. Based off like the size of the surface area of your canvas. Because I was getting a back piece, shoulder blade to shoulder blade, so the right side was bigger than the other. But I didn't know that. I thought everything was fine. I'm just here to get a tattoo. This will be fun. Then along comes my artist named Steve, asking another guy to show up for a second opinion. They're just hovering over my back like 2 astronauts trying to land the fucking shuttle on my asshole. Being like, alright, if we go 3 degrees to the left and 10% bigger on the right, eventually it'll look symmetrical. And I'm just laying there like, you didn't have to say this out loud. You could have just pulled me aside like, hey man, stop acting off so much. But the whole time, there's a guy sitting next to me listening. And that's when he pops up being like, hey man, you're supposed to swap hands. You know, work both out. Now I just have an entire tattoo parlor laughing their asses off at me. I'm face down. They're like, ha ha ha, he masturbates too much. Ha 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 ha. I'm just praying that ink hits a fucking vein. I tried playing it off. You know, this was Tylenol when mom was pregnant. And fucking Steve just goes, nah dude, that was Pornhub.
Toma.
You guys remember Ursula the Sea Witch? What if she actually had an octopus's mouth? That sea bitch would have a beak. I'm talking Iago from Aladdin beak. I'm talking Toucan Sam high on Fruit Loops beak. I'm talking Boba Fett being eaten by a sand asshole beak. That's gotta be the main reason why she got banished from parties. Showing up, sliding across hors d'oeuvres like an insane Roomba with tits, being like, tapas, my favorite. She walks over to the punch bowl, marinates that shit with every gulp, just, no, this is delicious. How did you get Cabernet? Starts gargling. I'm getting hints of vanilla, oak, and a whole lot of shellfish. So I'm actually kind of excited for the new Harry Potter HBO's been working on, because it means they're going to go into the backstories of characters that didn't really see a lot of limelight. Like my favorite character, Hagrid's dad. Why Hagrid's dad? Well, Hagrid is half human and half giant. Which means Hagrid's dad. That man. That manly man. That manly man. He survived and successfully impregnated a 25-foot tall woman. He's like 5'7". The vagina is 3 times taller than he is. He's just looking up at the world's tallest asshole being like, challenge accepted. I'm just like, how? I mean, we know what happened. Hagrid exists. You can't deny it. They fucked. But how? I'm just picturing him diving in head first like a salmon as swimming at the end of its life cycle. Just being like, there's the egg. Time to go back. Doing the backstroke. There's the exit. Woo! Or maybe, this is totally not a fetish. No matter how much you might... Maybe the vagina for a giant is on the ankle. Bottom of the foot, we call that the vaginicle. Hagrid's dad just latches on like a koala. Eee! Grabbing a corn for leverage. Ooh! Gives that bitch some athlete's foot. Or my personal favorite, perhaps he just used that old magical charm known as ejaculosa, giving himself a massive cock. Starts parading around the town. Giant cock here, take it all, challengers. Massive dick, magically improved. And then from behind him, you just hear, I'll do it. I'm just picturing a giant Lizzo showing up. Fee, fi, fo, duck. I smell a wizard I love to fuck. 9 months later, we've got the best gamekeeper Hogwarts has ever seen. Hey. J.K. Rowling made giant sex canon. I just gave it a wand. I was thinking about blind people the other day. Because I'm a hero. I think about all the less unfortunate souls. How do blind people send dick pics? I mean, like we do. We take pictures of our junk, but how do they know the other side got the message? I think they just sent a braille version of their cock, so you just feel the outline of it, and it gets exaggerated. Who wouldn't? You can't tell which dick is whose. You know, if a blind guy were to touch Danny Trejo's face, I bet he'd think it was a topographical map and he just found pirate treasure. You know, because instead of one X marks the spot, for Danny Trejo, it's X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X marks the spot. If a blind guy tried to read Danny Trejo's face, he'd be like, "Oh, sí, me llamo es Cristobal." Immediately learn Spanish and have the entire Machete trilogy memorized, including the third one that never got made. If Danny Trejo wanted to get a facelift, he would need concrete and a shovel. And even then, that wall would still wink. If you did a side-by-side comparison between Danny Trejo's face and a pug, the beam would come out to play. No, they would both try to bite. You'd just be like, "All right, Danny, I have to examine." Ah! Why are you so bitey? And look, I've got nothing against the world's manliest Mexican. In fact, I'd still give him a kiss. However, I'd be halfway through screaming, "Get this man some Clinique and a belt sander!" And even afterwards, I'd still need about 5 tubes of chapstick just to keep myself from drying out. Like, I got nothing against the guy. I just can't stand his skincare routine.
He's beautiful.
It's a very beautiful Busetta. Thank you very much, baby. You know, it has come to my attention that so much of my childhood has definitely been ruined by my adulthood. Mostly thanks to Pornhub. See, on Pornhub the other day, back when we still could log in, thank you, Texas, They banned it. So, I had come across a parody of the popular Disney TV show, DuckTales. They called it Cucktails, starring Splooge McDuck, Ooey Gooey, and Louie. I thought the third name being the same was a little weird. And the theme song was just as catchy as the original. Life is like a nightmare here in my room. Dishes, mistress, boyfriends, it's a cuck blur. Might beg for mercy, but she just ignores me. Cucktails, boo-hoo. Every day I'm out here taking cucktails, boo-hoo. Tales of staring so sad and blue, no fuck tales, boo-hoo. Not manly tales, not alpha tales, no cucktails, boo-hoo. And don't bother looking that up. It doesn't exist. I made the whole thing up. I just had to blame Pornhub in case Disney tries to sue. And I'll leave y'all with this one. You know, intolerant people, they don't have a superhero. Or a villain that I feel is evil enough. So to accommodate both of those things, I invented Intolerant Man. You see, Intolerant Man can fly to other countries and demand they speak English. Intolerant Man has the power to turn down ethnic music anytime Steely Dan is interrupted. Intolerant Man gets physically ill anytime he smells, tastes, or hears the word MSG. And like all good villains or technical heroes, eventually they meet their comeuppance. So this final bit is the day Intolerant Man dies. One day, Intolerant Man sees a gay Jewish couple kissing in front of a Cracker Barrel and passes out from sheer outrage. Wakes up into the future where everyone is ethnically ambiguous. No categories, just humans. So he runs to a nearby mall screaming, "Where are my people?" Then this mixed race toddler goes, "Sir, have you tried ayahuasca?" And he panics, runs to a nearby bathroom. He's shaking, he's sweating. He grabs the sink, looking into the mirror, and staring back at him is Kanye West. He touches his face. It's still Kanye. He touches his hair. It's different. He opens his pants. The one-eyed purple monster! And he cries out to the heavens, "My white soul! It's leaving my body!" Then this mayonnaise-colored soul rises up from the chest of Intolerant Man, moaning as it ascends, as one final tragic tear rolls down his face in the shape of a Confederate flag. You see, Intolerant Man had become the one thing he hated most, being successful and black. Thank you so much. That's my time. You've been a wonderful audience.
Yay! Bravo! Arrasou!
Yes.
Arrasou!
Give me your energy.
Arrasou!
Give me your energy.
Arrasou! Arrasou! Yay!
Ribbit, motherfuckers.
Ai, deu um mosquito de bate.